Alright, everybody, so how are we doing today? Final story for today, then it's off for the weekend. Yeah, I always like to give myself a little time off. Thinking about politics constantly can be very stressful. But sometimes, it depends. Fire and fury with missile launch. North Korea shows ire at neighbor. Seoul. This is from Reuters. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un's blistering criticism of South Korea as he oversaw his latest missile launch this week sparked new questions over the South's role in mediating a nuclear deal between the North and the United States, analysts said. South Korean President Moon Jae-in has been one of the most vocal proponents of engagement with the North, using last year's Winter Olympics to host its delegations and then meeting Kim at summits filled with feel-good imagery, smiles, and hand-holding. But Moon has been unable to convince Washington to ease sanctions and allow economic cooperation between the neighbors. Nor has he persuaded Kim to take major steps toward giving up his nuclear weapons. On Friday, North Korea called the previous day's missile launches a warning to South Korean warmongers to stop importing weapons and holding joint military drills, with Kim explicitly urging Moon not to ignore them. Kim may be impatient with what he sees as South Korea over-promising and under-delivering, said Jenny Town, a managing editor at 38 North, a U.S.-based project that studies North Korea. The North Koreans have made several statements challenging Moon to move forward, but obviously the situation has left Seoul unable to do so. For his part, Moon said there had been a lot of progress so far in inter-Korean relations and North Korea-U.S. relations, but we still have a long way to go. I think the biggest challenge is national unity, he added, in comments to a group of Buddhist leaders in Seoul. Didn't really think there were many Buddhists in Korea. I thought their presence was mostly in places like Taiwan and Formosa, and as well as in Japan. But I guess they have a presence there. Still, Kim may be overreacting to the joint drills and other things, calling South Korea a warmongering nation. I think it's largely just preparation in the event North Korea becomes violent. And I think Kim would understand that, and maybe make reassurances that the drills are unnecessary. I think that would be a much friendlier and more reassuring position. Although, to quote a Christian acquaintance of mine, the serpent was the wisest creature in the garden, and they might see Kim as a serpent in that regard. Yeah, if you get my meaning. Trust me, I'm a philosopher. I can pull meanings I need from almost anywhere. I can pull deep meanings out of my ass if I want to. Not that you'll ever see me literally do that. Trust me, that's get that image out of your mind. But still, I mean, pick your battles, right? If he's really that uppity about it, then just stop the drills. In the end, it may not even be worth it. If he decides to get violent over it, you don't want that kind of trouble. North Korea's growing frustration with its neighbor culminated in the missile test as a protest against the South's acquisition of new weapons such as U.S. F-35 stealth fighters and its participation in military drills with the United States. Kim's comments showed how skeptical North Korea has become regarding the South's usefulness in talks with the United States, said Shin Bom-chol of the Asian Institute for Policy Studies in Seoul. To them, the South Korean government is only a nuisance, he said, so the message is either persuade the United States or stay out of it. Overseeing Thursday's launches, Kim Jong-un said the new missiles had to be developed to neutralize the weapons being acquired by South Korea and turn them into scrap iron. South Korea's acquisition of American F-35 stealth fighter jets, the first of which arrived in March, would force its neighbor to develop and test special armaments to destroy the aircraft the North had warned in mid-July. While Moon has faced some domestic concern that national security could be affected by his North Korean pacts, from a no-fly zone to fewer guard posts and landmines along the heavily fortified border, he also pushed ahead with plans to modernize and invest in South Korea's already large military. In January, the Defense Ministry unveiled a plan to boost military spending for the next 5 years by an additional 270.7 trillion won, or 228 billion. Still, some observers believe Kim Jong-un is leaving space for engagement by focusing on South Korea's military. Who's the warmonger, Kim? Your stance on this has been far more aggressive, in my opinion. You've literally been launching rockets against them. They have only been performing joint drills, something that tons of countries who are allies do together all the time. They're developing teamwork. Your reaction is grotesque, my friend. You are seriously overreacting to this. Anyway, to finish the article, the State and Media report shows the North was still willing to maintain inter-Korean ties, as they mostly target the military forces, not the whole government, said Kim Dong-yup, a professor at Pyongyang University, Far East Institute in Seoul. An official at Moon's office said it would not comment on the state media report, but the government remained committed to working to revive momentum for nuclear talks. Poor relations have also prompted a show of reluctance by Pyongyang in accepting 50,000 tons of rice South Korea offered as food to aid its impoverished neighbor. A South Korean official said the government discussed the plan with the World Food Program, but Pyongyang had recently shown a negative attitude, citing the joint military drills. Attempts to discuss 2 South Korean sailors detained by the North have also gone unanswered, the official added. Personally, if you want to know what I would do, stupid fly, get out of here. Ugh. If you want to know what I would do in this situation, I would just cut the drills. Period. I would cut the drills. I wouldn't worry about the friggin' F-35s. And then I would immediately try to make peace just so that I could get the food in to help Pyongyang. That's what I would do. That's what I would negotiate Moon Jae-in over. Because I think feeding starving people would be far more important than working on your military teamwork. If you come in up in arms, they will respond in kind. But if you come peaceful with arms wide open, they may just greet you the same. That is often true of human beings. If you want an end to violence, why don't you start with yourself? But who's going to listen to me, right? Anyway, have yourselves a good day and a great weekend.